Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today I am going to look at these replacement ceramic pistons for Shimano calipers. So I've got two sets. I've got ones for 4-pot calipers and I've got a set for standard 2-pot calipers as well. So these are the pistons that come in the Shimano calipers. If you can see white pistons and you've got ceramic pistons, symptoms of this is going to be just some weird braking performance. Everything might look okay, no visible leaks, etc., but you've just got a lack of brake power, just doing weird stuff, something not quite right. 9 times out of 10, one of these is shattered on the back, around the back here. You won't even see it until you strip the caliper down. This will be shattered into several different pieces. So we're going to look at that. So I've got a 4-pot caliper here that we're going to strip down. And we've got a twin pot here that we're going to strip down. And we're going to rebuild these with these piston kits. So these are from AliExpress. You'll have seen them everywhere. Around about £7 for one caliper's worth of pistons. And the twin pot is around about a similar price, £6–7 for 2 pistons and a set of O-rings. You do get O-rings in the 4-pot as well, but you don't get any to split the caliper down with. You only get the seals for the actual pistons. I see this so many times, it's such a common problem. You can actually normally hear the pistons cracking like that if you push them back with a lever. So you'll know you've got a problem. This 4-pot here, I've not stripped it down yet, but I suspect at least 2 of the pistons are cracked. We'll find that when we get into it. I've done this before with donor Shimano calipers, where I've sort of, one's broken, we've stripped it down, replaced it, then we pull the other good 3 and we keep them as a sort of rolling stock. But most people don't have that luxury, so we're going to go with the AliExpress kit. So I've seen one video on this a fair few years ago, and the guy said it didn't work, so I was like, that's one person's opinion, let's have a go. So I'm not going to be able to put any miles on these, so I'm literally going to strip them down, put them together, squeeze the lever, see if there's any leaks. I'll put it under quite a lot of pressure, don't worry. But I'm not going to be able to do 2,000 miles on each kit just to prove a point. But we should be able to see, I think, how well these are going to fit while we're doing it. Full disclaimer, Shimano calipers are not rebuildable. You're not supposed to take these apart. There's no serviceable parts in there. You can't buy genuine Shimano parts. However, if you want to take the risk and use these aftermarket parts, this is how you're going to do it. I'll say I've done this before with some donor pistons before, and the hardest bit is getting the pistons out. There's several different ways you'll see online. Some people are injecting water in it. I've used compressed air in the past, but if you don't have a compressor, it can be a struggle. And even then, it's not ideal. It's very difficult, really. So what I'm going to do is I've knocked up this spare lever here. I've given it a very quick bench bleed so there's fluid in the system. I'm going to wedge a 3mm Allen key across here and just basically pump this lever. And hopefully all 4 pistons will come out to a certain extent, and then I can just pull them back out. Right, let's see how well this goes, how much mess it makes. So 3mm fits in these slots very nicely. So I'm literally going to leave that there. And in theory, that's as far as the pistons can go then, to that Allen key. So yeah, it goes for nothing. This could be a mess. Safety glasses on. You can see they're coming out pretty well. But the problem is, they're not going to come out super evenly. So you're still going to end up with this black one here, you see. It might potentially be a problem. But I'm hoping the other 2 stop at the Allen key and give the other 2 a chance to catch up. I'll get those 2 out, no problem. So I'm just going to move that there and give these a chance to sort of catch up. So this is the most difficult bit, is getting these out. One will eventually pop out and make a mess. Right, I'm fairly confident that's far enough to be able to just grab that now. Probably not entirely essential to split this, but because we're on the bench, it's just going to be easier. And you're obviously going to need to bleed it anyway. So there's 2 Torx bolts here. These are pretty damn tight normally. I think they're T30. So we're just going to crack these bolts off. They can be quite tight there. There you go, there's one. So I'm just going to split these out now. Obviously mineral oil is going to go everywhere. So there's an O-ring on the end of this bolt that came out there, so make sure you keep that in the right place. Take this out and it'll come into its 2 halves. So there's some Loctite on there. There's no O-ring on there. There's no O-ring in there. I'll take this apart now. There's an O-ring in here. Right, so what I'm going to use is Nipex parallel pliers. These are really good for something like this. So the clamp on, they're not like a normal grip, they clamp parallel, hence the clues in the name. So you should be able to get a really good grip on there. You squeeze this hard enough, you're going to shatter these pistons there. And they should just come out pretty straightforward like that. And there's obviously the fluid. When they've not come out quite so far as this one, that's where it can get a little bit challenging. But I think we could be okay. Yeah, I got that. And there's one broken piston already. See the remains of that in there? There's a piece completely fell off there, look, and that's still inside the caliper. And that's the problem. So we'll keep that one to one side. Again, same on this one, just going to pull these out hopefully. Pretty good access to both of these. Just gently pull them and twist them just to overcome the seal. That's all that's holding them, is a square seal. So I'll squeeze this hard enough, it'll just shatter into a million bits. That one. That one's okay. That one's shattered as well, even worse than the other one. So yeah, there you go, that's the problem you get. And it's a case of cleaning out this rubbish, making sure it's not fouling any of the oil ways, mineral. There's so many bits in there. So you can see there's loads of bits in there, so it's a case of getting these out. This is where compressed air does help. But just take your time and make sure you get all fragments off. Some of these smaller holes down there, you've got to make sure they're clear of shards of ceramic. So give them a good clean. So I asked for recommendations of plastic picks, and someone said Bojo are the best, so I ordered some Bojos. So let's see how these go. I've never even opened these yet. So we're just going to get these bits out best we can. But it's all got to come out, obviously. And then going to flush it with some brake fluid as well. Okay, right, I'm confident they're clean now. Right, there's that O-ring that you don't want to lose, that one there. Let's just clean up and then we'll put them together with the new ones. Right, so they're both cleaned up. I did blow them through with an airline as well, just to make sure there's nothing left in there. No, spotlessly clean. Right, so welcome back. It's actually 3-4 weeks later now. I made a bit of a mess of the other ones. What I did basically is fit all the pistons upside down, unknowingly. My presumption was, incorrectly, that was the bottom. When in actual reality, that's the top. So if you try and put them in like that, thinking that's the top, it doesn't work. Basically the edge on here is too sharp and it slices all the seals. So take away from this video, if you do fit these, make sure you fit them the right way around. So these little notches here are for the top. So that's exactly what I did on the old ones, and I broke them all, so I had to buy all these kits again just to refilm this video, which is not ideal. So again, on this you've got the lines here. These are going to be facing outwards. Once you see these actually in there, I don't know why I didn't notice it, but in the actual Shimano ones the lines are them, but I think I was half asleep that day, but never mind. We got there in the end, and I have the replacement, so I'll continue filming where that one left off. In the meantime, I also bought this kit from Risk. It's got metal pistons in there, so we'll have a look at this as well. So to do the SLX first, which is these bigger ones here, these are the new piston rings you get with it. Many O-rings in this one. Easier for the banjo as well, which is good. Just lubricate these first with some mineral oil. It's like your foam rings and your forks, basically. Give them a coating. And this will just slide straight in, hopefully. Right, and what you need to do is fit the pistons. Fit them the right way around, Stuart. Like I say, if you try and put them in the other way, the edge on there is so sharp, it slices that down. I mean, you say so sharp, you can't really feel one. But it's obviously got a chamfer on this edge here. And for some reason I had a bit of brain feed and tried to put them all in upside down. Well, I did put them all in. I managed to get them all in, don't get me wrong, you can get them in. But it slices these seals to pieces in the process. So I've given this a good coating of mineral oil. I'm basically just going to try and press this down there, the right way up. And by all accounts, it should just push straight in. That could be your only challenge, is getting it past this fresh seal. Getting it in straight. But bearing in mind this thumb doesn't work very well, I've got arthritis in it. I think it is going somewhere. Once it gets past the square, and just drop straight in there, hopefully. That's pretty much getting there.
A few moments later.
Use these now, very, very carefully. I'm going to go across here and across there. I'm just going to put some on there to support it first. So a coin should give me equal pressure across there. It's just trying to overcome this square seal, basically. That's what I'm trying to do here. Pressing very, very gently here, keeping it nice and even. Right, this is a really good fit. Gone in there. Like I say, once it gets past the square, it just flies straight in there. Hopefully it didn't slice the seal this time like last time, because it's not upside down. Again, that one went in super easy. Right, step one. Right, so they're both fully inserted in there. What I need to do now is put this caliper back together, connect it to a lever, bleed it quickly, and then we're going to put a lot of pressure on that lever and see if we get any leaks around here, because that's going to be the key to this. You get leaks if you put it upside down and damage the seal. You get leaks, believe me. Give me 2 minutes, I'll put these back together, bleed it up, and give it a squeeze, see what happens. So I'm just going to clean that now, bone dry, not a drop of fluid in there, Shimano bleed block, make sure that's bone dry as well, put that back in that caliper. So all I've done there basically is bench bled this lever and caliper together. It's a good solid lever, it's rock solid, and all I'm going to do is basically squeeze it and see if this starts leaking around these pistons, but I don't think it will. All right. Wow, I'm really giving that something. No one's ever going to break that hard. I'm literally almost bending the lever there. It's super, super, a lot of pressure. Nothing out, that hurt. Take the bleed block out. Bone dry, not a drop of fluid on there, so they're not leaking at all. They're working perfectly. Fantastic, yeah, absolutely no issues at all on there. Longevity wise, obviously I can't really test out on the bench within the space of 5 minutes. I don't see any reason at all why they wouldn't last you just as long as the original ones. Crikey, I'm really giving that some there. And nothing's happening. Bone dry. Right, I'm calling them a pass. Well, we've got this caliper out. We'll try these metal ones. It actually really hurt my hand. Right, let's strip these down and get these metal ones in then. I'll just pop these out like this actually. Just pressing that lever. There's one nearly out. They move nicely, don't they? See if I can get hold of this one. Right, so that kind of proves the point that they are pretty much exactly the same. I've just shattered that one. I wasn't going to use these anyway, it's just for you guys, but if you're too rough for them, they will just shatter like that as well. I'll blow this out with an airline like I did the other one. Just before we continue, I want to take a minute to thank this channel's ongoing sponsor, sportandleisure.com. Sport and Leisure are a UK-based cycling retailer with thousands of parts, tools, clothing and accessories ready to ship. Their listings are clear with proper descriptions and really good photos of the actual items you are buying, which I genuinely appreciate. Some of the other sites I've had to use, oh my god. And here's the best bit, if something's listed as in stock, it really is, sitting on the shelf, ready to go. Better still, you can order before 3 PM and it ships the same day. UK shipping is free on all orders, but if you need it next day, it's only £2.50, an absolute bargain. If you're after new wheels, brakes, or even full group set or levers, their prices are pretty much unbeatable. Now, if you're not in a hurry to buy something right now, it's worth signing up to their mailing list because they have some huge Black Friday and Cyber Monday discounts on the way. In the lead up, I'll be sharing a few teasers here, but if you want to be the first to know when the offers drop, make sure you're signed up to their mailing list. That way you'll get early notice before the best deals sell out. And don't forget, in the meantime, you can still use code BCR10 at checkout on your first order for an extra 10% off the already great prices. So the link's in the description below. Thanks again to sportandleisure.com. Alright, so these are the two seals that come with the metal ones. So let's just get these in. Again, just going to soak these. Other people that have done this allegedly have used the old Shimano seals with good success, so that's definitely an option. Seals, again, are a perfect fit. Metal pistons, right, you would presume. Let me check the packets if it shows you. Right, there's 0 instructions here, so I'm going to check the AliExpress picture. You would presume this rubber section is up. Yep, that goes on the outside, they call it a cushioning block. Let's see how well these go in. If it wasn't for the challenge of getting past the seal, this would be extremely straightforward. Well, that's gone in super easy. I just pushed that in with my thumb, absolutely no problem. This one not quite so easily. You just got to get it straight. That's the very only challenging part on here. Just take your time and get it straight. Even the slightest degree out seems to just completely stop it going in. That other one went in so easy. Alright, that's going now. Yeah, straight in again. Right, again, I'll clean these up. Oh, it actually spins, that bit does. Interesting. The piston's not spinning, that's just the cushioning pad. So I'll clean these up again, connect back together, and give it another bleed, and we'll see what happens with this one. They were way, way, way easier to fit than the ceramic ones, that's for sure. Do they leak? That's all we're interested in. Right, clean, blowed down with an airline. Bleed block's a good fit with those cushioning pads in it, that's for sure. Right, give it a squeeze. Oh, there's me squeezing the lever extremely hard again. Like I'm actually bending it hard. Oh, ow. Certainly nothing pouring out, that's for sure. I'm going to break this lever in a minute, or something's going to explode. This is BH90 hose, by the way, so it's the higher pressure. Right, again, nobody in this planet would be breaking this hard. Ow. Right, try this. Literally bone dry again. Nothing on there at all. And inside there, I can't see anything nasty. Appears to be bone dry as well. They also appear to work perfectly. Probably seem to move slightly more evenly. Very, very smoothly. Depending on the grade of stainless is used, potentially you might get some corrosion on these, which will cause you an issue. But apart from that, again, they seem perfect. No issues at all. And you can be pretty brutal with these, not ceramic, so you can just push these straight back in with the worst tool in the world you can pick, like this massive Torx key. No problem, straight in. Do that with ceramic, you're smashing them, trust me. Right, actually pretty impressed with them too. Right, let's try the 4-pot. This already feels like it's going to be an absolute nightmare to get in properly. Flipping heck. There you go. Popped in. I'm trying to twist it past the seal at the same time as pushing. Alright, there you go. Should be able to get them with your finger. Alright, that's gone in eventually as well. So yeah, they do go in with your finger. Oh god. Oh, it's so tight. Ah, it's in. Yes. You need strong thumbs, which is one thing that don't work at all. So. Well, right, rebuild caliper. Test this one. Again, that is absolutely rock solid. Literally giving that lever like you wouldn't believe the beans. I'll show you. Look, that's how much I'm pressing this lever. Bending. Well, it ain't leaking. What you find with these, if they leak instantly and dramatically. Pouring out of there. Well, it ain't leaking, guys. Whew. Again, bone dry pretty much. That's just from the stuff that's actually from assembly. There's nothing leaking out of there at all. Yeah, they work as well. So there you go, guys. I'll make of that what you will. Do they work? Yes, they do work. Can you get them in without damaging the seal? That's the hard bit. It's very challenging. Believe you me, that was extremely difficult to get that in there. So people who've done this successfully and easily, drop the comment below the easy way to get past them piston rings, because I think I was struggling a bit there, and I think you will do as well. Very, very difficult to get past those rings. But once they're in, if you get them in without damaging them, these are going to work perfectly well in my opinion. The metal ones went in quite a bit easier. The rubber pads on them, don't know if there'd be any benefit, but you can't get them in the 4-pot version. You're going to only get those in the 2-pot calipers. Would I recommend it? I think for a DIY, trying to save some money, I think yes, I probably would. I wouldn't use this for a customer's bike. I have public liability insurance, etc. to work against, so I'd simply fit a new caliper. It's not saying they're going to fail. I can't take that risk as a professional. But for a DIY at home, trying to save some money, in my opinion, I think you'll probably get away with these if you can get them fitted without damaging the seal. So anybody who's used these with long-term success, please drop a comment below and help others out. Like I say, I've only just bench tested these, so there's no real feedback on long-term use. So people who've got that, please help others out in the community. Drop some comments below. Hope you enjoyed the content. Hope it was useful for you. Please consider a like. It does help me out. No end. Share, or even the magic subscribe button. You all know where it is by now, don't you? So yeah, it really does help me out. Helps the channel grow and helps keep these videos possible to make. So thank you very much for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.